Hi, welcome to our new Café del Mundo ambassador show. We have many cyclists in our surroundings, and we are very proud today to have Fabricio here from Colombia and our dear Nane from Barnstadt. And hi, and I'm Nicole. I'm working for Café del Mundo, for Instagram, and for you to present all our atmosphere and flair. And so now we are here to talk about Fabricio's cycling life. And I heard that you have a very adventurous weekend in front of you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's one of the crazy sort of challenges that I like to do. And I found out about this challenge recently, and it's very close to Germany. It's in Belgium, and it's the weather looks great. So
you're talking so seriously about the crazy things.
It's a great opportunity to do it. So it's basically they call it it's in the Flanders region of Belgium.
Okay.
Which is a cyclist hub for races, and the challenge consists of climbing all 59 what they call moors or walls that they have in this region in one ride.
In one ride.
So normally they recommend you break it into 2 or 3 days, but I'm going to attempt to do it in one day.
Okay, that sounds very impressive to me. I asked Nane, what do you can...
How many kilometers would that mean?
Over 300 kilometers.
300 kilometers in one day.
With over 4,500 meters of climbing.
In Belgium, which you think would be a very flat country.
No, Belgium is not flat.
And this would happen in November, which is not a very pleasant season either to do a whole day of cycling.
But the weather looks okay for this year, so it doesn't. So that's why I said I'm gonna attempt to do it. It doesn't
I'm
look
doing
very
a crazy
cold.
thing, but I'm very.
That sounds very serious. I must say I met Fabricio a few months ago, and he was introduced to me as La Máquina. The machine.
The machine.
And to be honest, coming from competitive cycling myself, I didn't really take this serious. And of course, let's go cycling, and we did. And then after a few kilometers, I knew why they call you the machine. So I understand quite well why you talk really relaxed about, next weekend I'm gonna do 300 kilometers and 4,500 elevation in one day. Wow. So tell us, you don't do this for the first time apparently. How did you get into this?
I think it's years. I've been doing sports all my life, and I just like to, from years of making, you gain experience, and you gain somehow pleasure of pushing your body to limits, your body and your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know how far can you go, and you actually somehow, it's going to sound a little crazy, but you learn to suffer, and you learn to like to suffer.
In other words, it's an addiction, and you want more and more, and you're looking for
once you go past
challenges.
It sounds a little bit like a life philosophy.
And that's what it is. I mean, I have my philosophy tattooed in my arms, so I actually combine that philosophical school with pushing your body, because I believe that nowadays we live in such a comfortable lives that people suffer from a lot of issues, a lot of mental, because they live so comfortably. They don't have anything to really worry about. You always have food, you always have shelter, you always have this. So since we have such a comfortable life, we have to find ways to make it a little bit hard. So this is what I like to do
what you do
in cycling. So I bring that in. I like when it gets cold. I like when it gets wet. I want to see how I can deal with the pain, and I like to see that. It's like it's always that voice in my head saying, "Well, what am I going to do? Are you tired? Are you going to quit? No. Are you cold? Your feet hurt. Your hands hurt. Your butt hurts.
You still
Everything,
keep going.
and you still keep going, and it'll take a lot for me to stop." So anyway, that in that level of challenging your body and your mind has brought me to points like this where I do challenges like that, and sometimes I don't succeed.
What was the last challenge you took?
Well, I've done this year a lot of challenge, but one of the ones, for example, I did the highest climb in Colombia this year, among many things, but this climb, I did it on gravel, which is much difficult. The longest climb in the world is in Colombia. It's 80 kilometers non-stop climbing.
80 kilometers climbing.
You start at 450 meters and you end up at 3,600 meters in 80 kilometers
Oh, wow.
on the road.
And what did it mean in gravel then?
So in gravel, I started out at 300 meters and went up to 4,150 meters, which is the highest drivable road in Colombia on gravel. 4,150 meters. Then you go down and then you come back up to Alto de Letras, it's called.
How long did it take you?
It took me 7 hours.
7 hours.
And I was the first guy to do it on a
It
gravel
would take
bike.
me a
But
lifetime.
most people have done it. Most people have done it on the mountain bikes, and no one had done it in gravel. So I was the first one to do it in gravel.
I heard you were also competing in a world championship recently. What was that
Yeah,
about?
that was the first time that the UCI put together the gravel world championship was this year. So I moved from the States in the summer, in August. I moved to Germany, and I really didn't know about this series. You have qualifying races in different countries. So, but I talked to a friend of mine who was going to do the qualifier race for this. I didn't know about it, and he explained to me what was going on. So I joined him in Belgium to do the race in Houffalize. It was very tough, and I had some technical issues. I wasn't prepared for it. The bike wasn't ready, wasn't for that type of challenge, so I didn't succeed. Then the next weekend I went to Italy to do the qualifier race in Italy, and I made it. I finished in the top 25% of my age group to qualify for the World Championships. So
Wow.
that's how
Congratulations.
I was able
Congratulations.
to make it. Yeah, so I jumped one weekend in Belgium, and the next weekend I drove to Italy just to.
So you don't need to do any training in between because you jump from one race to the next, basically.
Yeah, but I wasn't really at my peak, unfortunately, because I wasn't ready for that. But I still. But that's the thing, you know, to push your body even when you're not completely ready for that, and it hurt a lot. That one was very painful.
It
I have
hurt
to say.
literally.
That sounds
because
like it.
I remember that you crashed as well.
Well,
in
and
the
I also
second.
crashed. Yeah, I had some leftover
That was
scars.
about suffering.
Yeah, especially over here on my butt and my shoulder.
Can you show again?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Just blood and skin, no bones broken, or not this time. So
And you send a video message saying the skin that went off was worth it.
Yes.
I mean the championship.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
because I was very close because I lost some time in the crash. So had I lost a little bit more time, I would have qualified. So it was very close.
Wow.
But yeah.
And it doesn't stop with that. You're also into triathlon, which means also swimming and running. And I had the pleasure because I was missing a team member not long ago, Nicole. I don't know if you remember. So I spontaneously asked the unprepared Fabrizio to join me in one
And
of
he
those triathlons.
Qualified spontaneously.
He didn't have his road bike yet from the US, and he took his gravel bike. And
Okay.
still he was far ahead of all those
Time trial
bikes trying to keep up with him. And he helped us to win as a team in quite a good place.
Could you imagine to have him as a team member?
So
makes you feel safe.
He wouldn't say no to any new
No.
challenge
No.
coming up.
No,
so.
and that might be a mistake sometimes. Sometimes I don't know why.
We compensated with pizza.
Yeah, pizza and beer.
Pizza and beer. So what would you recommend for maybe younger cyclists? How should they train? How should they work with their attitude? Do you have any
I think it's just
recommendations?
My recommendation to anyone is to, take care of your body doing physical activity. I wouldn't say just cycling. I would say in general. I think, you should move your body.
Mm-hmm.
You should nourish your body with good food, but also go out. Get connected with nature. Get connected with the outside. Get out of the house and move your body. Walk, hike, do stuff like that. That connects you to our prime. Where we come from, our roots, which is nature. So that's what I would say. I mean, that's what I love. Not just cycling, but anything outside.
Anything outside.
My whole life I've been doing that stuff, but cycling just adds that. There's really no other sport that you can do in the world really where you can be hours and days doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And your body still works. I mean, maybe marathon or ultra marathon runners, but you're still gonna come to a point where you can't anymore. In cycling, you could ride. You see some of those people that do 3,000, 4,000 kilometers, sleep 2 hours a day. I mean, it's really, I don't do half the crazy stuff that there's people out there doing.
Not yet.
Well, I think it's crazy enough.
Next year,
For me,
my
it
plan is
sounds
to get
crazy
into
enough.
that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you can actually ride your bike 24 hours a day, 24 hours straight.
And you're not spoiling your body.
And if you do it in a certain way, yeah. I mean, for some people it might sound crazy, but once you get used to it, you start out always slow. Do 1 hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours, and little by little, distances that you thought you never
Little by
could
little,
accomplish.
we all climbed the Belgian mountains in one day. Step by
And
step.
as you say, since the rest of our life often remains so comfortable and without any peaks, it's important to leave the comfort zone once in a while.
Yes, that's the main thing.
Get to the limits.
Yeah. There's a saying, the more you get out of your comfort zone, the more it expands. So you actually grow, and you learn so much about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. That's if you challenge yourselves to do things that are not comfortable, you learn a lot about yourself.
And you can take it back into the real life.
Into the
When
real
you
world.
Bring all the experience back.
Yeah, because when you suffer, in a healthy way, you could say, you can transfer that to all the obstacles in life.
Yeah.
Quit your job, or they fire you, or somebody breaks your heart, and all of these things. These are all ways of suffering. But if you have learned to suffer in other ways, in other types of pain,
Deal with it also.
you can
not
deal
only-
with it. It's not the end of the world. Everything comes and goes. It's always going to get better. Blah blah blah. So, anyway, it's like a metaphor for life.
Wow. So
Very wise.
we're looking forward to hear what you talk about your trip to Belgium, and see you next time here
yes.
in Café del Mundo.
I'll definitely come back and let you know how it went.
I hope so.
We'll see. Like I said, I have no idea I sort of know that I can suffer, but I have no idea if I'll be able to make it or not, but I'll do it.
And then we are looking forward for all your next adventures to come in the future.
Yes.
And I say thank you very much for sharing your
No,
adventures
thank
with
you
us.
for inviting me for this.
And thank you, Nane.
Thank you.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.